What's going on, guys? It's your boy Flish here, and today I will be reviewing the scariest video game series of all time. Since it's October, I thought I should talk about something super scary, and Five Nights at Freddy's is like super freaking scary, man. So I'll be reviewing not only the original game, but the original 4. The first game, the prequel sequel, the finale, and the other finale. Let's go! Alright, man, I am spooked the frick up right now. I am ready to be scared. But these games have some mighty scary visuals, so let's take a peek at those first. Alright, so I'm just going to start each segment with the original game and work my way through the series as I go. And wow, the visuals in the original Five Nights at Freddy's are, well, honestly, they're okay. I mean, it looks the way you'd expect, honestly. Crusty as f*** animals, old as f*** technology inside of a greasy as f*** building. If I'm completely honest here, this is the only game in the entire series that does a good job conveying the atmosphere it's going for. But then again, it has some bullshit. For example, this restaurant's kitchen appears to be the Void from Minecraft. Is this some sort of collaboration or just stolen design? I don't freaking know. But let's just move on to the second game's graphics, and this is where really starts to hit the fan. Now, since Five Nights at Freddy's was such a massive success, the creator, Scott Cawthon, decided to shoot out a sequel in 3 months. And this is the result. This game looks like a... You can definitely tell the game was slapped together. I mean, first of all, these withered forms of the animatronics look nothing like the original ones. And more on the withered forms, Withered Bonnie just looks like one PNG image pasted in different locations. Withered Chica looks like a freaking scarecrow. Withered Freddy's nose kinda became a freaking nutsack. And Withered Foxy's face is like 60% teeth. And as for the new characters, yeah, let's just say there are some problems with these too. This game just feels a lot cheaper, and the lack of nice design makes it look like this entire building runs on AA batteries. And then you have this. Seriously? The Atari 2600 has better graphics than this piece of shit. Absolutely pathetic. Now the third game's visuals, man, I honestly don't know. These locations may look awesome or like absolute dog shit, but I wouldn't freaking know because the freaking cameras are fricked top to bottom with excessive static. Also, vents. Like, there are way too many freaking vents in this game. Stop. Now, the place definitely has the atmosphere you'd expect from a horror attraction, and the new solo animatronic Springtrap looks okay. I don't know, man. It's all just kind of average, honestly. Oh, and these death minigames still look horrible. Now, the fourth game, I mean, like, it looks good, but does it even count? I mean, there's freaking one room and then these 3 hallways. That's all we see from this house. So, I mean, yeah, the graphics look good, but there's also freaking 4 locations. Oh, but let's not forget the... On the plus side, the animatronics in this game are easily the most detailed and the most intimidating. Plus, the fact that you're able to see them in the hallways is a pretty decent touch, I think. But there really isn't much to look at with this game, so there really isn't much to judge by. So here's how I rank the visuals of the series from best to worst. Wow, they freaking suck, don't they? Let's move on to the gameplay. Oh man, these games are just crawling with unique gameplay, man. The variety is insane. And by insane, I mean absolute horseshit. In all 4 of these games, you are in a single room the entire time. Not once in the entire series do you get to leave the room that you start off in. And no, those freaking mini games don't count. Each game has basically the same premise. Endure the crazy shit these animatronics pull on you until 6 AM. Then move on to the next night, which will be harder than the last. Very simple. Now let's take a look at how each game does it. Starting with the first game, your only controls are looking at cameras, turning on lights, and closing doors. You spend the entire game sitting at your desk chair with a freaking McDonald's Happy Meal. You can't move from area to area, but oh boy, you sure can look at them. Wow! I mean, I guess the game feels immersive enough with these limited controls, but still, you just look and then oh, freaking scary thing, and then you close the door until it's gone. Yeah, there's the power gauge in the corner that limits your actions, but still, it's just so simple and, well, kind of boring. I mean, let's be real, these are the kind of games that you love watching on YouTube, but you fall asleep when you play them yourself. The second game isn't too different in terms of mechanics. You just sit in the same room the entire time, you look at cameras to see where frickers are, and this time, instead of getting doors, you just throw on some mask that disguises you as Freddy. Yeah, I bet that's really convincing, even to the actual Freddy for some reason. Okay, and this time, you also have to keep winding up this music box to keep the puppet away from you. It's still the same game where you just sit in the chair, look at cameras, and then do a protect thingy when someone gets close. Same different day. Now the third game, apparently now we have to fix this flimsy as frick building using this machine pad thingy. The ventilation, sound, and camera devices all break after freaking 10 seconds, so you have to constantly fix them using this machine. I'm not so sure how that makes any sense, but whatever. So instead of having several animatronics to worry about, this time there's only one. Plus like 6 dud animatronics that only exist for... yeah, that. All these dud jump scares make your thingies fricked up, so it's really freaking annoying. And instead of having doors, you gotta use balloon boy sounds to distract the animatronic so it doesn't get to you. So yeah, this game's freaking... Now for the 4th game, look in the hallways, look in the closet, look at the bed. That's it! The only difference now is that you gotta listen for breathing from these animal frickers and close the doors manually if you hear them. Then once you get to later nights, different frickers appear, but I mean it's all the frickin' same, man. Like really, it's all the frickin' same. And like this whole time I could have been talking about the minigames too, but they're just so quick and basic that they can be summed up just by looking at a 5-second clip. So here's my ranking of the gameplay from the games, best to worst. Some looking simulators are just better than others, I guess. But now it's time to get really freaking freaky and see how scary these games are.
Oh god. Oh no, I don't want to do this. That was the scariest thing ever.
Just kidding, these games aren't freaking scary. They're actually kind of cute. Oh, what are you doing in that dining room, you silly little bunny rabbit? Oh, are you taking a shit in the bathroom, you fluffy little chicken? Oh, you want to give me a balloon? You're such a kind little boy. Oh, are you... Okay, well this one's actually pretty ugly. Oh, are you... Yeah, okay, these two. Look, my whole point is, these are some freaking animal robots. And yeah, some of them may be intimidating, especially in the 4th game, but at the end of the day, they're all just basically robots that come after you. You get used to it. But aside from the atmosphere of the locations, do you want to know what the main source of horror in this series is? That's right, jump scares. In all 4 of these games, the sessions continue until either A, the night ends, or B, you get jump scared. That's the horror. You run out of power, you get jump scared and die. Fricker walks into your room while the camera's open, you get jump scared and die. Use your flashlight while a fricker's right at your door, you get jump scared and freaking die. Hallucinate, and you get jump scared and... your vents get disabled for some reason, okay? In the 1st game, the jump scares are just loud screeches with the animatronic spazzing out like a frick. Oh, and there's this. In the 2nd game, the jump scares are pretty much just pictures of the animatronic zooming in towards the player. Like, just look at this, really? The 3rd game's jump scares are decent, I guess, but that's just for the hallucinations that don't actually kill you. Want to see the jump scare for the one animatronic that does kill you? Oh god, he just walked 3 steps closer to me. Freaking really? If I woke up one morning and saw a butterfly on my wall, I would be more afraid of that than if Springtrap jump scared me. Oh, and in the 4th game, they jump scare you. Aside from these jump scares, there really isn't much left to scare you other than maybe a few creepy sounds or images, and some hallucinations that make you go, oh. So here's how I rank the scare factor of each game from best to worst. Yeah, these games suck nut at being scary, but maybe I'm just missing something. Maybe I'm failing to understand what's truly going on behind all of this. Let's see what the Five Nights at Freddy's lore has in store for us. Well, I mean, I could talk about the lore, but like, let's be honest, the only reason anybody knows anything about Five Nights at Freddy's lore is because of game theory. I'm not just gonna retell the backstory behind the series, firstly because, I mean, let's be honest, the freaking lore changes every time Scott releases a new game. Secondly, that required me to dig into later games, which I plan on reviewing separately in the future. And lastly, the entire lore is basically just speculation. Like, there's a vague outline of the story, but nothing's really set in stone. To sum things up quickly, there are a bunch of unnecessarily obscure ways to find clues to the story. This includes passcodes and wall tiles, intentional minigame glitches, and Easter eggs that have 1 in frickin' who knows chance of happening. And I guess there are also these phone messages at the start of each night that are supposed to hint at the timeline or something. I don't know, man, it's just too much figuring crap out. Especially since this whole thing is probably just a dream. Game modes! So there really isn't that much to talk about here. The extra game modes are pretty much just cheap, useless things that you'll poke around in once or twice and then be done with. In all 4 games, you have a 6th night. Yeah, none of these games are actually 5 nights long, by the way. The first 2 games have a custom night, where you could basically just change the individual animatronics difficulty. I guess that's cool. The 3rd game has extras, where you can replay the minigames that appear between nights, a gallery of each animatronic's jump scare, and some little tweaks to the gameplay that you can try for fun. The fourth game also has extras, which basically include the same things with minor differences. And also now including 2020-2020, where all the characters are at max difficulty. Yeah, you can't customize the difficulty anymore, by the way. Nothing too special here. I mean, what do you expect? These games are so simple, they can only be tweaked in so many ways. Man, I could go on for 5 nights about how much the series sucks, but I don't have that much time. I do need more time than just a minute though, so I'm turning this 60-second lightning round into more of a... That sound good? Alright, let's go. You're not allowed to look in the kitchens with the camera, but feel free to look at the bathrooms, oh yeah! It's possible to wind the music boxes, seal vents, and play sound effects from the security cameras. What kind of cameras would let you do any of this? What's even the point of naming the third game after Freddy if all the attention is given to Springtrap? Foxy is the only animatronic to be shown moving in the cameras. Does that mean everyone else just stands there? What are you doing, you idiot? Phantom Chica's head looks like a freaking watermelon. Balloon Boy. You know, the Halloween edition to Five Nights at Freddy's 4 basically just reskins the characters and makes you listen to Mangle. This freaking phone guy talks for like 2 hours straight at the start of each night. Shut up! You know, it's pretty freaking convenient that this kid's bedroom just so happens to be shaped like a pizzeria's office. I mean, what child's bedroom has 2 doors to get inside anyways? Also, is this kid's room like the only one in the house? I mean, look at the map. Here's the kitchen, all of these are from the bedroom, and these are hallways. This is a small as frick house. Five Nights at Freddy's 4 claims to be the final chapter, but how does the puppet stay asleep just by listening to this music box when pretty much the entire time all this shit is happening? Why does Mangle have 2 heads? Like, yeah, I know it got messed up by children and stuff, but still, the person who built the robot would have had to put the second head there, so why? Do not look up fan art for this game. This makes no sense at all. What kind of place would put a camera and lights in all the vent shafts? Oh, but it's a really safe place, you'll be fine. Instead of making Freddy look super intimidating on all the cameras, all you get to see are his eyes. Ah! Why is it that in each game, everyone's jump scare sounds exactly the same? Like, really? You're telling me that these 2 creatures would have the same attack sound? Well, that's about all I gotta say about these overrated as frick games. I rate the series a 10 out of 10. Wait a minute, did I say 10 out of 10? I meant 10 out of 143,000. Take that, Five Nights at Freddy's. And just in case you were wondering, here's my rankings of the games overall from best to worst. That's it for this review, guys, and I will see you the frick later!